Welcome back to Just One Fern.
Just One Fern.
And there he is. He's back. I'm back. We're too excited. That's why he had to jump in there. I mean, it's been so long.
I'm too excited.
It's been so long. I haven't talked to you in like 2 weeks, but it feels like way longer than that.
I missed you.
I missed you a lot.
Oh, I'm glad we can say that. I'm glad we're at that point.
I mean, I think we've been at that point for quite some time.
Why didn't you say anything?
I've been in the dark this whole time. What the hell?
You're telling me I've been writing love letters and I could have been sending them?
So what's been going on? What have you been up to? I know there's so much to talk about, and we only have a short period of time today. So like, just hop right into it. Give me your top thing that's happened to you the past 2 weeks. It could be good, could be bad. What's been up?
My top thing?
Yeah. What's the top thing or anything? Throw anything out there.
I can't think of my top thing, but I can think of I went to Walmart recently, which always sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But can we listen? Anybody who's listening,
mm-hmm.
you, Aaron, I'm sure you do the right thing here.
I hope so.
Walk on the right side of the aisle, for God's sake.
Yes.
It is the road. We live in America.
Yeah.
You drive on the right side of the road. You walk on the right side of the aisle. What are you doing? Why walk on the left side going forward?
I couldn't agree
with
you
more.
more.
What do you think? What makes you make that decision? Do you
Who
drive?
hurt you? Who hurt you?
Who hurt you? What? Honestly, it really pisses me off. Like I'll be walking through the aisle, and some old lady, or like even just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're standing in the middle, no.
That
Fuck
infuriates me.
Stand all the way back or all the way forward.
Yes.
If you don't know what you want, get out of the way.
Get out of the way. I hate the people. Now you're gonna set me off too, because I couldn't agree with you more.
It pisses me off.
When you are, especially now that like I'm an adult, so I actually have a grocery cart with me. Now I used to do in college, like, all right, whatever I can fit in my arms, that's all I'm buying. I did that all the time. If it can't fit, and I'd like walking, like holding it down, like I wouldn't be able to function. And my arms would be exhausted in the line. Like, Jesus Christ, this is so
a good
heavy.
money saver. It's a good money saver.
It really is. And so now I'm an adult, so I have to actually buy things for like the whole week. So when I go to the store, I know. Silly me. But I have my cart. And if you are not giving me enough room to get by with the cart, I'm furious.
Yeah.
I'm so angry.
Especially now with COVID.
Yeah.
Like I don't think people have any self-awareness of
they don't.
the amount of space they take up.
They don't.
I'm always my first thought is, am I in somebody's way? Because I think that's one of the 7 sins, I think.
It's number 1.
Number 8? It might be number 8.
It's number 1. It's above you can't have any other gods. It's the first one.
Before you think of anything bad you do, don't be in the way.
Yeah, don't be in the way.
Don't be in my way.
Get out of the way. No, for real. Like that should be something you think about, and that should have been taught to you as a child. If this person's trying to get through, you get out of the way.
Yeah, I think genuinely, if you aren't thinking about this, you're probably a little psychopathic.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's the same thing. Although this is where I think society needs a little bit of a change. Why is it the person who just walks across the road? Why is it the person driving? If they hit them and they're jaywalking, why is it the person's driving's fault?
I think it's because the person who's driving is definitely okay.
But here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. If you see a car coming, don't cross the road.
Yeah, no, that's
don't cross the road.
That is
don't cross the road.
Move.
And like or if you want to and you get hit, you have to be okay with it.
Yeah,
you say I broke my leg. That's my fault. I died. My fault.
I think crosswalks are a different story. I think you should be able to cross a crosswalk at any time, as long as it's not faded. Some of them are faded. And if you get hit, that's not on you. I don't care if there's a green light.
Yeah.
I care if there's a green light. Don't be an idiot. But did you know that in Massachusetts, you can cross the road anywhere? There is no jaywalking.
Really?
There's none. And cars are legally supposed to stop.
Yeah, well, that's the thing in New York, too.
Anywhere.
Well, in New York, you're supposed to stop no matter what. But
I thought it was only crosswalks.
No, I think it's everything.
See, that's dumb.
That's what I'm saying. It's stupid.
Right of way.
That shouldn't be a thing.
Bitch. Right of way, bitch.
Yeah, bitch. And that should apply to Walmart.
That should apply to Walmart. Get out of my way.
You stay in
right
your lane,
away, bitch.
Yeah, you stay in your lane in the aisle, and you don't stand 10 feet away from what you're looking at. If you're trying to pick something, you don't stand back and look at, because the product's only in one specific spot.
Right. No,
You
that
don't be
if
looking.
that spot is out of the way. That is the only reason.
True.
to
If there's
stand
no
that
one
far
around,
back.
do you. But the minute someone pulls into your aisle, you get on your side. You scrunch
It's
up.
not yours. You don't
Yeah,
own it. You
exactly.
do not own that space.
Yep.
But I'm mad. I'm
I know
really
you
how
got me
much
like
stuff's
hyped
pissing
up
me off.
about this. Like,
You know what else pisses me off? This reminded me of Walmart. I had to get a prescription
Mhm.
because my foot got infected. I don't want to talk about it, but doesn't
I don't
matter.
wanna talk about
I need antibiotics,
okay.
and I wrote down
Just-
Walmart.
I'm not gonna be able to stop thinking
Let's
about your
move
foot.
on. Let's move on. My foot's infected. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna tell this story because I did a really dumb thing. But hold on. Let me
Okay.
finish this. I did something really stupid. And that's why my foot got infected.
Okay.
But I wrote down the pharmacy, Walmart,
Mm-hmm.
and I went in twice, and they're like, we don't have it. So I called in, and they're like, oh, well, you wrote down Walgreens. No, I didn't. No, I did not write down
I was
Walgreens.
there. I didn't put that down.
There's no way. There is no way I wrote down Walgreens. I know. I remember writing it. I
Mhm.
don't remember I don't remember
I was
driving to work.
blacked out, but I remember that.
I would remember that. Walgreens. So my prescription's been sitting at Walgreens. Well, I am getting gangrene in my foot.
Yeah.
Somebody
Gangrene,
who
I'm
probably
sorry.
goes to I got trench foot, Aaron, probably. Somebody at somebody who
What
worked there
trenches were
probably-
you in? Were you playing World War II in your backyard again?
I thought you
With
wouldn't tell
airsoft?
anybody
With
about-
airsoft rifles?
Yeah, we had a standstill, Aaron. We waited 2 weeks in that trench. It hurts.
We
when the
promised we
boobies touch
wouldn't
my
fight
skin.
on Easter.
But my cousins came over, and they always bring their airsoft guns. My parents won't let me have them. But okay, so let me tell you what happened with my foot. I have. This is gonna be a scandal. You're gonna find this in New York Times tomorrow. I have athlete's foot.
No way.
Yeah. Yep.
And you're the most athletic person I know.
Shut up. I played tennis today. All right.
Yeah, which we have to talk
my
about.
gangrene.
That's a
foot.
must. We have to talk about that.
And okay, so do you know what compound W is?
No.
So if you have a wart
Okay.
on your foot,
Mhm.
you put acid on it.
Yes,
It's called
I've done that.
compound W.
I've
You've
done
done
that,
this.
yes.
It's acid. It eats
Mhm.
your skin away.
Yep.
I put this in between my toes for my for my athlete's foot because I thought if it gets rid of warts, it sure as hell gets rid of fungus. And Aaron, let me tell you,
Mhm.
it got rid of the fungus. It also got rid of all my skin.
Oh my
And
god.
when I went in, she's like, "Yeah, because you did that, bacteria got into your body, and now you have cellulitis."
Oh my
I don't know. I'm like,
Lucas,
"Oh."
that's bad. I mean, that's
bad.
not good
No,
at all.
I was doing it, and I'm like, I shouldn't do this, but
That's it. I mean, come on. We've all been there. We've all
Mm.
like I think I'm gonna get hurt doing this, but I think it might be a solution. So I'm gonna do it anyway.
YOLO.
Yeah. It's a scientific
YOLO.
method. It's a
Remember that?
hypothesis. I have it. It didn't work.
Right. No, it did work. That's the
Oh,
thing.
it did. It just worked
and
too
that's-
well.
See, Aaron, that's what scares me is I'm worried I'm gonna do it again because it
Mm.
worked so well,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna get another infection.
You might. It's possible.
That's all right.
But
But
you already
you know
have
what?
this
I-
thing, which is bad.
I
so.
have this thing. Yeah. But I played tennis on it today. Didn't hurt bad enough.
How was tennis, by the way? Because I know you're a tennis champ. Played in high school.
Played in high school. I played doubles.
Wow.
I played
Mhm.
on varsity.
I know. You wore the shirt one time.
I wore the shirt one time, and I was okay. My
Okay.
thing was instead of serving like you normally serve,
Mm-hmm.
I would serve with as much spin as I possibly could put on the ball.
So
And
you're
people hated me. People got so pissed off. There was one time, I'm not kidding, and to be fair, I always wore a headband, like a 70s headband,
that
and I had a mullet at the time.
Lucas. I wouldn't
FYI.
picture it any other way. That was what I had in my head. You didn't even
Okay,
have to
good.
describe it. That is what I had in my head.
I don't know why I thought I needed to. And I pissed this guy off so much. He had to call a timeout, and I could overhear him like complaining to his coach. He's like, "What the fuck? Like, who is this guy? Like, who spit on his serve? Goddamn fucking mullet." And I'm like, dude,
Classic
we
tennis.
are
Classic tennis
second
players.
doubles. We are not good. We are not good. You do not. need to
Wait,
be
so
getting
how
this
many
upset.
did it work? Did the spin
Yeah, I
work?
won. Yeah, all the time.
So
all
how are
the
you not?
time.
How are you not first team?
Because that was my one trick.
Oh, you couldn't volley.
No. I learned how to put topspin on it like 3/4 of the way through my senior year.
Okay, so
Which
when
is
you
like the
say you
basic
won all the
thing.
time with it, you mean like the last two
When I
games of the
served.
season?
I won all the time when I served.
Gotcha.
Also remember doubles.
Mm-hmm.
I had a whole other guy with me.
You had a whole nother
So-
guy. That's true.
And when I played front, you don't have to. You can just smack it back.
And
over
so,
the net.
well, was the other guy just not pulling his weight?
No, he was pulling all the weight that I refused to pull. So like,
Perfect.
he played a very standard game of tennis. You know, very flat
Mhm.
serve, top spin,
Mhm.
very reliable player. I was very unreliable, but I had my moments.
I mean, hey, you were the star. You had the spin. You had the spin on the ball. What did this guy
had the
have?
spin.
A few volleys? Stats sheet. Pull that stat sheet up and let me see who was actually better. How many aces did you have? A lot.
I actually had a lot. And that's what would piss him off is if you stand there and you whiff.
Yeah.
That's the most infuriating thing when somebody didn't even serve that good.
Lucas,
That's-
this is kind of a I can't think of the word, but it's basically a pitch for a movie. This could be a movie, a comedy of you like two enemies that have to play on the same tennis team. One of them doesn't pull their weight, but he knows he's good and he can get better. The other player works his ass off, and they have to figure out a way to come together and play and win the championship.
Yeah, like frenemies. Like it'd be like the I
Like
can see it now.
frenemies. You pulled that reference out of your ass. Where did that come from?
well, I've been thinking about it, but like that's what it is, friend enemies, and like, but
Yeah.
I can see the. I thank you for the compliment.
And they come from different areas in the high school, so like, you know, they don't ever talk to each other until they're on the court, and the coach puts them together because the coach is like, I know you two could do it.
Wait, frenemies? Are you talking about a Disney Channel original? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yes.
That's not what I was thinking of. The podcast with Ethan and
Also bad.
also bad.
Also bad. Both. Two bad things.
But Frenemies, the Disney Channel original, I should have known. That it would touch your heart. I bet you've seen it too. I definitely haven't.
I have. I've seen the Disney Channel original movie, yes. And that's why I was so shocked. I was like, what? What?
You're like, oh, you're
But that
Frenemies.
podcast is despicable. So my sister texted me and she was like, when we talked about Trisha last time,
Yeah.
and she was like, I love that podcast. And I was like, please be joking. Like, you can't be serious.
I
You
kind of,
like this podcast.
I have you seen the clips though?
Oh,
You
they're
watch- you ever watch it?
hilarious.
They're
But they're
really
hilarious because I hate it.
I think that's good content.
It is. It's good content. Oh, did you see the new Eric Andre movie?
No,
It has
no,
the
is
dicks.
good?
It has the dicks in the Chinese trap. Remember I was
It
telling you?
does?
Yeah, you got to watch it. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's
Did
a
you hear how
prank movie.
excited
It's a
I got
prank movie,
about
yeah.
dicks? Did you hear how excited I got?
You always do. This is a perfect time for you to shine. You have to go watch it. But it's an entire
Dicks in
prank
the
movie.
Chinese
It's
trap. That's
basically like
hilarious.
it's kind of like a. All right, now I don't know if you were a fan of Jackass. Were you a fan of Jackass?
Oh, I love Jackass.
All right, so I was never a huge fan of Jackass. This is
Mm.
better in my opinion
that.
because it's like a scripted, really like story Jackass type of thing.
Oh, they tried to do that with Bad Grandpa, and that
It's
wasn't as good.
similar. It's similar to Bad
but it's like a
Grandpa.
good version of that.
Yeah, but it's Eric Andre,
I trust Eric on.
and I trust. Yeah, he's
I
amazing.
mean, I
He's
don't
funny.
trust him, but you know,
Just
I trust that he'll make good content. Yeah.
just it's incredible. And like that one time we talked about it, not to spoil anything, but like they almost like someone tries to kill them when they have their dick stuck in the trap. Like someone pulls out a knife on them and they have to run away. Yeah.
Where where can I watch it?
It's on Netflix. Yes. And it was like a 3-year process because of COVID, like to make it.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
That sounds funnier though.
Yeah. It's
Like-
very good. You would love it. Like that's all I'm saying. I know you would love
That's
it.
right up my alley. That is right up
Yeah.
my alley. I love his in-person pranks.
Oh yeah, they're amazing. I mean, that's kind of what got him his start, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Well,
mean-
they're so outrageous.
Yeah, they
Like-
really are.
I don't know how he's allowed to keep doing that. Doesn't he get arrested?
He does sometimes. But I think I actually listened to an interview with him the other day
Oh, cool.
about it, and he was saying that like he's almost getting to a point where he might be too big. Like he's getting
Like
to a
his
point where he
penis
might
is
be
too
too big. Yes,
For the
but
for the trap.
yes, but he's too big as in celebrity terms that like people
Yeah.
will notice him. And he said that there were a few like they filmed. He said 80% of all of they filmed is never going to be showed.
Oh. Well, 'cause
Like
people
the movie
recognize
is
him?
20% of all they filmed.
Oh my god.
Because there were so many times where a prank failed or they recognized him or someone like jumped in and was like, "Oh, I know you," or like,
Oh, that sucks.
yeah. So they had to just like keep doing stuff over and over again.
Yeah. so
Apparently-
he's gonna have to quit.
Apparently, there was a whole segment with Chris Rock that they had where they were going to do a prank with Chris Rock, and it was like ruined 2 minutes in because the person was like, "You're Chris Rock," and like, and it's like, well, Chris Rock,
Yeah.
everyone knows Chris Rock,
Yeah,
like you
everyone
can't.
knows Chris Rock.
But he said
that's
he's gonna keep trying different disguises until like he can't do it anymore. So.
Dude, Sacha Baron Cohen keeps doing
That's
it.
what he said.
He
He's
gets
just like
away with
he
it.
just gets away with it all the time. Like, also, no conservatives are watching that, so you could just prank a bunch of
Yeah,
Republicans
yeah.
all the time. Like, no one's gonna.
Honestly.
No one watches Eric Andre if you're a Republican. Like,
And it might be where the gold is at. It might be the people to
yeah.
fuck with.
That's
But
so funny.
Nathan Fielder from Nathan For You, he had to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's partially why he had to end the show. is
Yeah.
because people started recognizing him.
Yeah. And I mean that's a
It
good
was that-
thing.
it
That's a
wasn't
good thing,
that
but it's
big,
also a
but-
bad thing. Like, it's a balance, I guess, that they have to figure out. But I don't know.
Yeah.
He could always
So-
go back to the Eric Andre show, which is just hilarious. So
Do you that reminds me of something I wanted to talk to you about. Do
Yeah.
you know Anthony Jeselnik?
yes, he's like really dry and he does like really bad jokes, right? Like bad as
Really,
in
dark.
topics. Yeah, dark.
Really
topics.
dark humor. I think he's really funny. I
Isn't he
think
super dry too? Like he has no emotion almost when he's
No,
talking.
he's very cocky, very arrogant.
Okay.
He goes, and that was the first time I did that.
Yeah.
I think he's good. I mean, I think his bit is he does the same bit over and over again. But do you know about Shark Party? He had a TV
think
show
so.
that got canceled.
Really? No, I don't think so.
Probably because of this. Did you know that I think it's like 2 million sharks or some crazy amount of sharks are killed every year because of humans, and like
Because of
6
like
humans.
pollution or
they get hunted
really? Okay, I didn't know that.
and pollution, but
Yeah.
like I think on purpose.
Okay.
And then like 6 humans or something get killed every year because of sharks. So he thought he thought it'd be really funny,
Excuse me.
that to be on the shark side of things because that's fucked up. So on his show, he waited until somebody died from a shark attack, and it was some guy in Australia. And the day he died, like the week after he died, they threw a party for him, in favor of the sharks. and
No
and
way.
he had a bunch of hot girls come out in shark costumes, like half naked, and dance around him, being like, "Yeah, one for the sharks. Fuck that guy." Yeah, and he says
At
that.
this
He pulls
party?
up on live television, and he
Oh
pulls up
my
a
God.
picture of the guy, and he says, "Fuck you, you bastard!" Like, one for the sharks.
Well,
finally.
no shit, that got canceled. Like, of course
And
it's
then-
getting canceled.
One of the girls gave him a lap dance. A shark
Oh
girl gave him a
my
lap dance.
God. I'm not surprised,
Uh,
honestly. From scenes, I've seen a little bit of his stuff, and not really my cup of tea because like you You have to really not
gotta
be
have a
able
bad-
to be offended by anything. Like,
Mm,
you will
mhm.
be offended if you watch his stuff. It will happen. And, like, I'm actually shocked that him, of all people, people haven't tried to cancel him.
Yeah, actually, that is
Like,
surprising.
it
that he
doesn't
hasn't
make
been-
I think it's because he's actually in real life. He doesn't do anything bad. He just
No, he
talks
doesn't.
about it. Like, he talks about everything that's like effed
This
up
is a
that you
dark
won't
mind.
talk about. He does that. And then
Well,
when
I
he
don't
gets
know.
on
That the
stage,
shark thing's pretty bad.
that's
Like-
really bad.
Like the guy's family found out about it.
I
The
mean,
guy
it's
who
terrible.
died,
I'm
and
not
they
saying
sent him
it's
to-
not, but I'm
a
saying
lot of
I'm
death
shocked that
threats.
he hasn't been canceled yet. Or people haven't been coming for him. And
That is weird.
I guess it's just he's never done anything illegal. He's
Or
just
maybe
kind of
he's
an
just not
asshole.
notable
Like,
enough?
he's just a huge asshole.
I'm looking it up. Anthony Jeselnik canceled.
I mean, there's got to be something, right?
No.
Wow.
No, I mean I don't see anything. Just he had a show that got canceled. That's the only thing that's popped
Wow.
up. The show that I was talking about. The
That's crazy.
Jeselnik Offensive is the name of it, which is
I guess it just shows, like, as long as you don't do anything illegal, you can be the worst asshole ever. And people won't care.
But anyway, if you want to watch this, you can find it on YouTube. Look it up. It's called Shark Party Anthony the Jeselnik
I just can't
Offensive.
believe it. I just can't believe that
I'm
that's
gonna send
a
it
thing.
to you. It's hilarious. It is really funny and it's really fucked up. But
oh my god. Well then, yes,
he has a
the
point.
Eric Andre
He's making
thing.
a point. He's making a point.
On the side of the shark. True, I do agree that sharks should not be killed.
Mm.
Like,
Mhm.
that you shouldn't be hunted. That's ridiculous. And we especially need to clean up pollution, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. But let's jump in real quick. I got something to kind of talk about.
Yeah, I've been kind of taking up the space. Sorry.
No, I love it. I love it when you have stuff to talk about because then I don't feel like I'm crazy.
I'm sorry. I tried.
You know what I should post? I should post this on our Instagram. The video of Lucas, you're a piece of work from freshman year,
Yeah, you should.
where my high pitched shrill like of a laugh, like only air came
I don't
out.
even
Like
know
it
how
was
you did
insane.
that.
I
It's like a
couldn't
whistle
even
thing.
replicate it. I
You
couldn't
try a lot.
replicate. Yeah, I tried, but
actually
I don't
try a
think I
lot.
can. I was just
Yeah,
dying
if you find
laughing.
that, you should. Put that up.
I have it. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah, you
not
know
that
where
I
it
find it.
is.
I know where it is. I have it. But so this past weekend was my birthday.
Right.
I
Happy
am
birthday,
now-
you bastard.
I'm now 23. 23 and me. I am. It's my Jordan year.
That wasn't funny.
I know.
hate you.
I'm glad that I made you laugh, even though you were like, "Oh, I don't want to fucking laugh at this."
Well, you know I like that joke. So go.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I went out with two of my friends from home. Came down.
Oh, nice.
We went out to a few bars downtown, and let me just tell you something, Lucas. COVID does not exist in downtown Nashville.
What?
But I think me and my friends were the only people wearing masks,
No.
and the bars were packed, like lines to get in. Just it was
Well, it's
insane.
good to know everyone has vaccines.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
That's
you
bad,
don't yet.
Aaron. That's so bad.
It's
no,
really
I
bad.
know they don't. I know they don't.
Like we were walking, so like the upper part of downtown Nashville, like very spread out. Everyone's like, we were walking downtown. We're like, no one's here. Like no one's out right now. And then there's this one strip, this one road with like all the bars, all the venues, everything. And we got down there and it was like we were in Times Square in any year. Like it was insane. Like just
What?
packed on the street. It was insane. And
all for you.
all for
your
me,
birthday.
all for my birthday. It was insane.
Oh, friends.
But I'm going to be using that for content. Now that I know that that's down there, like I'm just going to throw on my mask and just go talk to random people down there. Like I want
you
to do
totally
that so
should.
bad. Yeah.
You
But
should come up with some prompts or something to like fuck with people.
yes, yeah. I kind of want to just ask them like, "Hey, do you know who I am?" And just see what their responses are. And like just see what happens. You know, like, "Do you know who I am?"
Well, I think if you have somebody like with a camera, I bet
Mhm.
you can get somebody to go, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
100%. Because that's the thing. They'd probably think like, "Oh, this person might be somewhat famous." Be like,
Yeah.
and if they say yes, I'd be like, "Oh, where do you know me from?" And then like they panic, and like that would be so funny.
We should set up a meet and greet in the middle.
Well,
like just somewhere.
have you seen? I kind of want to do this, but it'd be kind of stealing this other podcast idea. They sit outside on a street in New York City and have random people just sit with them for 2 minutes to like talk in their podcast.
Oh, I've heard about that. That's
it's like
really cool.
I think it's literally called like Podcast on the Street or something like that.
That's such a cool idea.
And I just think that would be amazing if we could do that. Like that would be so funny.
Honestly,
but with all the people waiting outside bars, they're just standing there. I could go up to them, just be like, "Hey, like, do you know who I am?" Or like say it to the bouncers. Do you know who I am? Like, come on, let me in.
Or make like a big scene. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm getting this on video. They're gonna post this.
I'm putting this on the news. This is going on the news. You're going on the news, Buster. I stole that.
Listen here, Buster.
That's not my bit. The Buster's us, but.
Well, the Buster, was that you or was that Liam who created the Buster character?
I can't remember.
Because it's not Buster. Is his name Buster? And he says, "Listen here, Buster."
His name is Buster.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
He goes, "Listen here, Buster." and he is like in love with his sister.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he always has to babysit for her kid, and he hates her kid because. Listen here, you come in with your 8th grade smirk on your face, and your mother's out there slaving away the typewriter. She works in the court system. Do you know about justice? You know anything about justice?
I remember we were like planning to write like a Family Guy style show, like with all these different characters that we had come up with. We had a lot. We could totally do that, but really quickly because we're running out of time here. But something that happened that was probably the funniest thing. But in the moment, I didn't know how to react. Like, I wish there was a camera. It was an Office moment. Like, I wish there was a camera that, like, panned to my face so I could just go, like...
Did you do a gym thing?
Yeah, basically. So, we're at this bar. We're sitting at this table watching this band who was amazing. By the way, they're called Yankton. Check them out. Awesome. Great country band. Yankton. Like Plankton, but with Yankton. So... They were amazing. Like, they had a fiddle player who was just rocking it. Like, it was crazy. And I'm not usually a huge country fan, but, like, they did a bunch of rock songs. Like, they did a whole plethora of stuff. But these two girls come in. They are plastered. I mean, like, I've never seen two girls, like, this drunk whilst sober, like, in a long time. Like, these girls were just falling over themselves. And so... these two girls come up to the table in front of us where this couple is already sitting, and they sit down with them, and the couple's like, "What is happening?" Like they're not happy. And I like look at my friends. I'm like, this is gonna be the funniest shit we've ever seen. And they love one of the songs that they start playing. So they're on stools, right, and they're jamming. And the one girl reaches around and grabs the other girl and like leans back, and they both fall backwards. Smack on the floor right in front of my feet. Like, I'm standing there. They fall, smack in front of my feet, and I look down and I look around like, what has happened? And so I like helped them up, but I was like, and then I just sat back down. I helped them up, sat right back down. It's like, what just happened? Like, are they okay? And like, they didn't get kicked out or anything, which I was shocked. They got back up
and just kept doing the same thing.
Yeah, kept dancing. And they were dancing like their purse was like open. Their shit was flying everywhere. So like people were running up and like grabbing it, like giving it to them. Like, just go. Like, tell them, where's the bouncer? Tell them to get out, because like it was just everyone was not watching the band. They were watching these two girls, and I'm sure they were pissed. Honestly, they would have fallen off the stage. It would have been even worse.
Those are some cage girls right there.
Honestly,
stick those girls in cages.
But they fell. When they fell, I was like slow motion, like, oh no. Like, here we go. This is going to happen. And I did like one of those, like, oh, like as if I'm going to help catch them. But I mean, they were already halfway to the ground when I did that. Like, they fell real fast.
I know you. And you were like, yeah. You're watching them fall, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, how terrible. Like, you stuck out a pinky. You're like, no, don't hit your head. Don't hit your head.
No, but and these stools were pretty high up. Like, they fell hard to the ground. And of course, they're drunk, so they get right back up. They're not feeling anything. Yeah. But it was insane. It was so funny because I just, like, you could picture, like, the camera panning to me and just being like.
Like, it's down and then it comes up and you go.
Yeah, basically.
Do the
Yeah, like
face. What's the face you would do?
if that happened, I'd just be like something like that. It's confusing because I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Yeah. That is confusing. Were they pretty?
Yeah, I guess so. What? What? I was too focused on their well-being to focus on if they were pretty or not. They had just slammed into the floor. I did help them up, though. I was a nice person after.
I just think it'd be funny, like, if they weren't pretty, like, would people still help them?
If they fell over and, like, I looked down, like, no, I think you should stay down.
That's why I thought of it. It's like, if you have
that's horrible.
really ugly people and they're, like, doing all that, and they fell, people would be like, fuck you.
I honestly think it would be worse if it was pretty people. Like, I think, like, if they are gorgeous, like, drop-dead gorgeous, attractive people, and they fell, I'd honestly be like, nah, fuck these girls. Like,
more than if they were ugly.
Yeah, because then I'd if they look like a normal human being and not a supermodel, I will help them up. But I'd help anyone up. What am I kidding? Who am I kidding? I'm a nice person. I'm gonna help anyone up. But like, I don't know. I think that's people are more annoyed with people who are more attractive.
A lot of people came to help.
Yeah, because they didn't stop and they didn't get kicked out. Like, shit just kept happening.
Ugh, that's bad. You know, that pisses me off. Like, you ever see girls will get up on a guy's shoulders at a concert so they can see better and make sure the 8 people behind them can't see anything?
I hate that.
It's smart because they don't care about anybody else.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a concert at Darien Lake?
No.
You've never been well, you're from Albany, so that doesn't surprise me. You've probably been to like Saratoga concerts.
Yeah. It's like the same thing.
It's basically the same thing, but I went to see Logic at Darien Lake. Just real quick, we're really running out of time, but they were like throwing full bottles of water like across the crowd, like of packed people, and people were getting slammed in the face with water bottles. Like it was insane. It was like a war zone, but it was probably
black eye.
It was probably one of the craziest things ever, and I loved it. Like I was living for it, like ducking. Like I felt it was awesome. It was so cool.
That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. I mean, some people got domed, and it was really bad, but like. It got worse. It got worse and worse and worse as time went on. All right. So we'll be sending it over. I think
sending it over.
As of right now, we have an interview, but we haven't done it yet. So we're waiting to hear back. We should have an interview. If not, we'll see you guys next week. All right, everyone. Today we got Joey Dardano on. You might know him for me, I know you from TikTok, but you might know him from his podcast, Help From A Hypocrite, or you might know him as his own comedian. Does a bunch of different skits and stuff that he posts all over the place. He's also the king of Hot Boi Shit. So very glad to have you on, man. How have you been? How are things going for you?
I'm good, man. I don't know where you guys are, but it's in New York, it's fucking bad. It's bad. The weather sucks ass.
Oh, yeah.
I'm literally completely wet right now. And I wish I took a second to dry up before recording, but I was like, gotta rush on. And it was such a sunny week beforehand. But we stay hot. We stay hot, boy.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm in Nashville, and it's beautiful right now. Not to brag, but it's pretty nice.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I know. Fuck me. Right?
I'm like upstate, so it's like about to rain. I'm about to get what you had.
Where upstate?
Near Albany.
Albany. My dad's from Utica. My whole dad's side of the family is from Utica.
Wow, nice. Yeah, I have family in Utica too. That's funny.
It's a great place. They have a great crushed red pepper.
Yeah, great.
Utica ground. Hey, it's always Utica. What about Utica? Okay. This is the last thing I ever do with my life. I kill myself.
This is the end. Let's hop right into talking about some of the videos, some of the reasons we wanted to have you on. So your main thing that you do, at least on TikTok, is the king of the Hot Boi Shit, like I just said. So what was that's like a character, right? Because you're kind of like expanding.
Boy, do I wish.
Are you kind of like expanding your accent there? Like what's going on with that whole video?
I mean, style? Yeah, like it happens when I'm doing comedy too on stage. The accent just gets like pushed out a little bit, like when I'm on. My family, like my mom, when she came from Cuba, she lived in New Jersey. My dad's from New York, but I grew up in Royal Oak, Detroit for a couple of years, and then Galveston, Texas, and then Florida. So I don't know where the fuck I got this accent from.
Interesting. Yeah.
But my brothers don't have it. My dad kind of has one, and I think I just kind of like wanted to be like, I look exactly like my dad except for the mustache. So I think that blood's in there.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
The
before
mustache
the
is a
Hot
nice
Boy
addition.
shit, dude, thank you so much. It's truly
I'm
it's
a big
the
fan.
reason I'm alive.
It adds to the accent.
But like, yeah, before Hot Boy Shit, I was IBS diarrhea daddy. That was like,
Oh, nice.
I wasn't joking when I said that like in a video a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because people, whenever I kept posting the Hot Boy Shit videos, and people kept commenting like, "Hey, where's our diarrhea shit? We followed you for poop material." And I had to keep commenting like, "Bro, chill. They don't know I'm all about that yet." Like,
Don't rat me out yet. We're not there.
Well, you
Yeah.
are very safe here. We like to think of ourselves as the #1 poop podcast.
We are. It's not even.
love
It's not a
that.
question. We're the #1 poop podcast. I don't think there's an episode that we've had where we haven't talked about it.
It's honestly
right
the
before
most-
this, I was pooping.
right before this,
Yeah, I made it
gotta
in
get
under
it done.
7 minutes, which is really. Aaron was worried.
I was-
would
that's
not.
crazy that you're the one out of this whole group who has a fucking time constraint. And then before we started, you're like,
Yeah.
"Let me take a giant shit." This guy.
I was so nervous because he told me, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go take a shit real quick." I was like, he's gonna come on in 7 minutes. Are you gonna be back by then? No way.
I'm like, I'm
Jesus.
speed running this.
Oh my
But
god.
did you expect that to blow up? Those kind of videos, or
No, dude, I've had people who've had the diarrhea stuff. Yeah, I've told this story a couple times, but like, in the beginning of the pandemic, I was one of those who like stuck around New York because one, there was a lot of talk of like, if you ever leave the city, you're not a real New Yorker. You're a wussy. You're not committed. And I was all about that. I didn't want to be seen as somebody who left. And then I had a panic attack and a depression episode. So I went home for a little while. And when I was home, my little brother, and I also had a friend up here named Lily, a fellow comic who, Lily Michelle, check her out. She constantly was telling me like, you have to get on TikTok because I'm like a very physical guy. Like when I do stand up, I really rely on the fact that I not only sound dumb but look dumb as well when I'm doing my shit. And she was like, "Go on there and dance. Go on there and do whatever," because Twitter was never my thing. I'm not trying to be concise. Instagram is like fun, but people are really like just kind of like pushing out whatever image that they're like really tight on. Like even all my friends who are big on TikTok talk about like maintaining that the difference between your TikTok personality, your Instagram personality, your Twitter, like all these different characters, because all the people who follow you are different. On different platforms. So when I went home for like 2 months at one point, and my little brother, like he got me on TikTok. He's like the one who officially got me to download it, and we just made each other laugh making diarrhea videos, like on all the sounds. Like we made every sound like about diarrhea. And the thing was, if it made my little brother Matthew laugh, it was gonna do well. If it made my older brother Anthony laugh, it was gonna pop off a little bit. But if it made my mom laugh, and my mom doesn't laugh, my mom's a hardcore stubborn Cuban woman, and if something makes her at least chuckle, it was going viral. And it went viral like every time my mom laughed.
That's so funny.
But after a while, I got up to like 27,000 on TikTok, and I said I got up to like, and then said a specific number, which is so
I know.
funny.
Yeah.
I got up to around 26.23 thousand followers, and
Not that I'm
I just
counting or
remember
anything.
because I remember looking at my phone, like whenever I posted, be like, "Oh, it's not moving."
Yeah.
I was like having shit go viral, and people like weren't following me anymore. They were just like liking it, and I was like, "Okay, I guess this died," because I was only ever on it because I thought like, I have friends who have careers because of Twitter. I have friends who have careers because of their Instagram page. Like, they get hired to
Right.
write or whatever. And it stopped. Shit stopped coming my way, and diarrhea content like was fun. It was like funny, but it wasn't
was
like
fun. I don't know.
it got boring for me even
Yeah.
after a while. Like it got boring for me. Like you're just scrolling through TikTok. You're like, okay, how do I make this about shit? It's like it gets boring. You know, it's not like creative. For a while, you're like you feel creative because you're like, oh, I did it, and then whatever.
You
And
might
then,
say you're polishing a turd at some point.
let's go.
Yeah.
But yes, like
I
6
can't
months passed, nothing was popping off. And right before I went to my girlfriend's place one day, I took a shower. My hair looked fucking phenomenal. And I just was like, you know what? I keep doing these sounds. I keep like trying to like be ahead of trends. And now most of my videos are me like not even using sounds. Like it's just me posting like what the fuck I'm saying. And people fuck with me being like honest, I guess, or like motivational. I'm on Cameo now, and people keep booking me for these like they want like motivational speeches from me.
Oh wow.
Really?
And it's kind of
cool.
beautiful.
Yeah,
They're
that's
really
awesome.
vulnerable with me. The things that they're like asking for and like telling me, and you know, I'm a comic. I didn't think this was like the route I was gonna take, but I guess it's like comedically I'm making people not feel like shit. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's incredible. The fact that people have seen these videos, because obviously, you know, you make them to be funny, but they are motivational in a way. Like people are watching.
And I
these
have to be
videos
clear, I
thinking,
did not plan on that. I did not plan on being like these videos like fueling people. I've heard people say like you get me out of a rut, you make me smile on days I feel like shit.
That's awesome.
And I'm
well, that
fully
is what
like
comedy is, right? Like it's making people feel good. You know, so
and
can
I
see
guess
the
after a while
transition.
you forget that. You forget that after a while.
Yeah. And like, how has that translated over to your stand-up? So have you been doing a lot of stand-up recently? Has it been hard to do stand-up now with COVID, even though things are kind of starting to slowly die down?
I'm lucky enough to be like in this middle ground of not being like I'm not one of the top tier comics in New York. Like I'll say that 100%. I have so much more growing to do. There's still a class.
You're not the top yet.
Oh, thanks, man. There's like there's a in comedy there's like these classes, you know, that kind of come through like you know like everybody who comes up together like in the 70s, they like all those people who like come up.
Yeah.
And my class of people is kind of on the come up. People are starting to get like writing gigs and acting and stuff or whatever. These are people who like, you know, you either start out with or they started out like around the same time as you.
Yeah.
And I'm like lucky enough to like still be asked in the pandemic, the outdoor shows people have. Like I'm being asked to do spots every once in a while. I'm not as booked as I used to be, but that's because there isn't that many spots. And I'm not trying to. Before this, I was a hustler. I was out like every night, either on stage or just hanging around trying to get on stage.
Yeah.
But this is not the time to just be out every day. Like, what are you getting from doing it every single night except for like a practice? Everything's so different now.
Yeah.
You know, so I have a spot, like at least 1 or 2 spots a week.
That's all. I mean, that's great that you have spots right now. I mean, that's huge. Has it been like crowds really small? Is it kind of the same people coming back or?
In the pandemic, I've performed for crowds that are like literally 8 people because that's like what the venue could fit under the laws.
Wow.
And the most packed one I did was like 100, 150 people inside at Punchlines in Philly.
Wow.
And I mean, I left there. I had the time of my life. That show reminded me like why I do comedy.
Yeah.
It was every once in a while you have a show like that just like reminds, and that's actually what TikTok is doing for me now, is me like when people comment and tell me, I mean, people on TikTok more so than any other app are like very hyperbolic. Like they're like, you're my favorite on this app right now. And then I see they're following like 1,500 people. And I'm like, I bet you say that to all the creators. And, and people say shit like, if I'm being like like going to one spectrum, like I was gonna end myself today, but you made me laugh.
Yeah, like
but like
so intense.
Yeah, it's like that's what the comments are like, and I'm able to take that all with a grain of salt, and at least be able to go like it reminds me that there's people out there who like genuinely. I think it was actually the cameos in the past week. I got added last week. I guess some guy who works at Cameo kept getting sent my videos because it's mostly famous people. It's like almost all famous people, and then occasionally like the influencer or two. But like people sending me those messages. I mean, I was telling friends the kind of shit that I get DM'd even. Like, oh, my DMs the past couple of months have been one girl asked, "Do that thing fart though, or what that booty do?" And then the next DM is like, "Dude, I've been really depressed for like weeks,
Just wow.
but you make me laugh, and I just wanted you to know that." And I could tell these messages, these messages don't
Yeah.
come from a place of like, please respond. Like all those comments on
Yeah,
on
yeah.
videos that are like, does she respond
Yeah,
or
does she
does
respond?
she
I hate
comment?
that.
It's so dumb, but like, and you could tell that they're not reaching out for that. They like actually, I guess.
Yeah, and that takes a lot of courage for many people to even admit that they're in a
Right.
depressive
Well,
state.
one person said that. There's like 10 other people just like them who are probably coming from a similar place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
feeling the same thing.
That you're helping out. That's heavy shit that they're sharing with you, and that's kind of amazing that they're
Yeah.
able to open up.
Does that like push you to keep making these videos? Like, is that the reason why you keep making them? Are you
it's gotta
tired
be
of doing the
inspiring.
hot boy shit? Like, what is your?
I'm actually not tired of doing the diarrhea shit. You get tired of like the hot boy stuff. Like, it's just like space it out a bit,
Yeah.
Like, yesterday I posted the first like actual hot boy shit video where I'm doing the whole "don't tell me to do anything, looking
Yeah.
good, feeling good, wait a minute." I hadn't posted one in a week because I'm thinking, are you guys gonna get sick of this? And am I gonna get bored of doing these? But people continuously comment like, thought I would get sick of this, somehow I'm not, or you keep finding creative ways to do it, or like don't know
Yeah.
why I'm not sick of this yet. And I'm like, but if I posted it even more than I am now, you would be.
Yeah.
So I'm spacing that out, and I'm trying to do different things. Like I did those affirmations, which like, 2 of them went viral, but then I was already committed, and they were only
Yeah.
they were like not popping off, and I was like, but I promised them I would do it, and
Yeah.
even
then
that,
you're
bro,
getting
people.
comments asking, like people ask you to do. Like,
Yeah,
do
you
a
got
Sunday
that
affirmation.
engagement. That
You know?
engagement
Yeah.
really high. Did you? Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're like doing stand up, you're preparing for shows, writing your sets. You do those often, over and over and over again. So is that? It's not really extremely different from TikTok because, like, I know
Yeah.
for me, I'll watch a certain stand up special, say like just a random stand up. I'll watch it multiple times if I think it's really funny. So like,
Yeah.
do you find that that's hard to like gauge what is sticking and what's not?
Yeah, it's funny. I forget who I talked to about this yesterday. I wish I could say their name. But it was a comic who asked me, and I was talking about the fact that like when you do stand up, like yeah, you're telling the joke over and over and over because the goal is to one day film it in its most like contrite, heavy hitting form.
Yeah.
You've been saying it for a year. Throughout that year, there was 3 months where you said it every set, and then you put it on the back burner. And then when you're going on tour or something, you try it out again because, you want to like bring it back up and see if you could add something. Like there's a whole journey with like each joke. I've never committed to a joke for that long. Like right now I have like some jokes that I do a lot of crowd work. I make up songs in the audience. I'm like about to start putting stuff up on TikTok of me doing stand up because I am going to start running a weekly show here
That's
again.
Hell
Yeah, and I'm gonna run a couple of shows, which will all like be on like my TikTok and my Instagram and shit. But I've never like posted jokes really that are written on social media because I have so little like actual like gems of written material because I really rely on making shit up on the spot.
Yeah.
I kind of did that to myself. Every single set gives me diarrhea because I think I'm gonna eat shit because I have like no proof that I'm gonna do well. Like
Yeah.
I have like
Well, I like the improv. Like that's what makes
that's
a
an
comedy
important skill.
show feel
Yeah.
real. Like it's not
Yeah.
all scripted. That's what makes it
Yeah.
fun to go to.
I'm hoping that when I eventually film an hour or when I like go on tour and I have to do like I really would like to in the summer or in the fall go on a tour to just like a couple of major cities and try to sell out small venues and see how much TikTok has truly helped me.
Yeah.
But I get stressed out whenever I have to do a long set because I'm like, yeah, you can be on fire in the beginning and then they're really with you. And then what if like 15 minutes in they're like, and jokes? Do you have written jokes?
Yeah.
Like you can feel the audience out like that.
Yeah.
So is that the goal, to have some like genuine gems backed up so that way you have something to rely on?
Yeah, I hope I'm not misquoting who said it, but there's Sam Kinison, I think, is the guy who said it. Uh, he said, "Material is what you do when you run out of shit to say," or something like that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I've just kind of always, even without even r- remembering that quote, have always done that. Like I would
Yeah.
go up and I would just be like, how long can I bullshit out of the 8 minutes that I have, like when you're starting out, or 10 or whatever,
Mhm.
out of how much time I have, how much can I bullshit you guys before I
Yeah.
have to do the jokes that I truly don't have that much faith in? Because all these years in, still, I feel like I sound robotic when I'm telling you a joke that I've written and I have prepared. Like I
Right.
need to
Yeah.
like every single time I'm telling the joke a little bit differently. I'm probably relating it to an audience member. Like in the middle of the joke, I'll interrupt it to like talk
Yeah.
to someone and then go back to the joke. And like it seems like it just takes me a really long time. And then I have
Mhm.
friends like my friend Connor McNutt or Lily who I mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
They are like writers. Like their jokes, like Connor's a friend who whenever we're hanging out at a show and someone's either late or they didn't do as much time or they just want to throw someone up, they always ask Connor because Connor has um like 12, 15 minutes of material that like every single time I've seen it has even made me laugh still.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
know
That's so
all
cool.
of the jokes.
Yeah.
That's the same punchlines every time and they're making me laugh. Like he has that
Yeah.
kind of shit. And I feel like I don't have that. And that's my fault, but it's mainly because when it comes to comedy, I've never liked working hard. Like even for TikTok, if I work on a video for more than like 30 minutes, I'm like, whatever draft you have, put it out. Now
Yeah.
this is becoming a job, it's becoming
Yeah.
work, and it's
Mm.
not fun.
Mhm. Is like, so comedy in terms of stand up, is that your main goal? Is that what you want to be doing, like touring and doing live shows?
Yeah, I drank bubbly water on a podcast. What a dumb fucking move, man. My goal is to fucking breathe. I have acted my entire life.
Okay.
I went to an arts middle school, high school.
Oh
My
wow.
college was dramatic arts. I want to fucking act. Okay?
Okay.
That's what I've always wanted to do.
Mhm.
And it's just like I have a lot of friends who either have connections or they grew up with fucking money,
Mm.
and or they just did the right things quicker than I did, or they were more serious and like knew the moves. I haven't had as much guidance in that department. I have training but not guidance, and the acting career is just like really slow to start. And
Yeah.
Right.
I started comedy in high school in between musicals because I was always in the musical at
Yeah.
school, whether it be a lead or a fucking small whatever. I always did it.
Mhm.
And one year, I hope I don't get the numbers wrong, but like in high school, it was like one main stage musical and then like two plays like every year.
Mhm.
And one year I was doing two of them and it was like in between the shows and I had nothing going on after school. And I had a friend who did a play at a local playhouse and I got two guys in that play were comedians whose like wives worked at the playhouse. And so
Mhm.
they didn't even really want to act. They were just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
And I told one of them I wanted to be a comic, and he to this day I still don't know the answer, and I will ask him because he moved to New York a couple of years ago, but I rarely see him. Um, he taught a class at the West Palm Beach Improv, and I kept going every week for half the class because I couldn't stay that long because I took a train back home. And if I
Gotcha.
stayed the whole time, I wouldn't be able to get home unless someone drove 40 minutes to get me.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
and I never paid for the class. Like it was a class you had to pay for. I didn't pay a single dollar. He would let me take it, and then he let me go up in the showcase show.
Wow.
And ever since then, I was like, okay, this is something I'm gonna do to like be on stage while I'm not in a play. And as it turns out, it's now like what I mainly do. But like my
Wow.
goal is to be like I want to follow in the steps of like if we're talking about comedy and movies, like Adam Sandler, Kevin Hart, Robin Williams, like
Mhm.
people who like do stand up because I love the art form. I'm a stickler for a lot of shit. I follow the fucking unspoken rules. Like there's a lot of shit, and then I try to bend and break them. But like I may not be a stand-up comic the way that others are, where they're writing their jokes and they're sitting down for hours and writing and they're performing their shit like that. But I am a comedian. I'm an entertainer, and I follow that like that's just like what I am. But I know that it started as a means to an end for me.
Yeah.
But if my career is that I just end up being like a big time comedian who ends up doing like little things in Hollywood, like. Sure, I'd be happy because then I'd have a taste of what the other initial goal was. But like, I really want to do like movies and television.
Nice. I mean, that's awesome. I think you definitely have the.
Cool. Yeah. Every time you ask me a question, I answer, and it takes me 17 minutes.
Well, I love this story. You give the motivation behind it and stuff. So no, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, Joey, it's an interview. So
yeah, true.
We want you to answer the question.
Great answers.
It's so funny because I'm so used when I look at Zoom is how I've been recording my podcast. I actually have to start using a program like you guys are, but I've been recording my podcast through Zoom all throughout the pandemic.
Yeah,
and this format has me just thinking like I'm the one who's supposed to be asking the questions, and I'm like talking too long. And
no, you're fine, man.
Oh, I feel you.
I do want to actually, Lucas. Do you have to hop off?
You know, I just got word I can wait another 5 minutes, so I'll
cool.
just tell you.
Hey man, quit your other job, whatever the fuck you have going on.
I have another podcast I have to get to.
No, you don't.
Man's booked and fucking busy. This guy. Let's go.
Yeah. What the hell are you actually doing? I don't know.
I hate. It's the worst. It's the worst excuse. I have a tea time to golf.
That's the coolest fucking thing anyone's ever said.
Yeah, I have a tea time to golf.
Sorry, I have to go. I have to go hit a ball in grass.
I know, it's so lame. It's not even. You're right. And I'm embarrassed to say it.
No, I love golf too, but I try to do it not just when I have other things. Anyways, Aaron,
I didn't plan it.
No, shoot. I love golf though. The pandemic got me really into golf again, especially when I visited home. It was the most like socially distant fucking thing you could do. And my little brother and I really got into it. And then we got my older brother to play with us too. And
It's
the kid
kind
next
of the
door is
best.
great.
I can't explain why I keep doing it because I'm so terrible.
Dude, you can be bad at the fucking game, but just be like, I am so glad to be here. Like, having a fun time. I'm bad at it. Like I'm not hitting good numbers, but I am having a fun time out there,
having a
man.
blast. That's all that matters. But speaking of, sorry, go ahead, Lucas.
You go ahead.
No, you go
thank
ahead.
you.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I would like Joey to go, actually.
So is it the serious roles or is it just acting in general that you're looking to do? Like ideally.
The funny thing is I have actually always wanted to do the most serious shit. Like
Really?
It's also what I was most drawn to growing up. It's like it felt like making people laugh was like another skill, and then look, I'm also good at this and I can be serious. But I do think it's compensating for the fact that I like on a daily basis, myself included amongst everyone I know, think I'm a fucking goofball. So I think I want to be like, look, I can play a guy whose wife is murdered or like something like that,
Yeah, I have depth, I promise.
Yeah, but like my biggest influences are people like oh my God, I can't even fucking think. I literally just said this. It's like Jim Carrey, Steve Carell, Robin Williams, even Eddie Murphy occasionally like started doing these like he was in a couple movies that were like more serious, like just like those kind of guys who you found your way up in comedy. You got to like be yourself, and now you get to do these projects that really like. I know Steve Carell's like, I do these roles because they challenge me. Yeah. And I like doing them, and now they're now he's fucking great at them.
Yeah.
Everybody you mentioned is they're amazing actors, like serious actors.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and that's the thing, like I don't think anyone would have thought that they could do it until they did it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I don't know how they can do both, but I think there's something to being a comedian. You notice things. You notice how people act, and you notice kind of the way things work in a unique perspective.
Especially you, like with your improv, like your ability to work with the crowd and stuff. Like you're thinking off the top of your head, so you're prepared for multiple different situations.
Yeah, my fear is though doing comedy for like so long and doing like podcasts and then people like just only see me a certain way
Mhm.
and I won't be able to do that. Like, cause all production companies, all like I'm even talking about like a book deal now, like all everyone's risk averse. They don't
Yeah.
want like
Mhm.
if they see you as one thing, they're not gonna hire you to do that thing. Even if you're like the best fit for the fucking role, they may not like
Yeah.
trust you. So I need to figure out a way to be able to like prove to people fucking hiring or whatever, casting like even friends who like will end up making movies and television shows to
Right.
prove to them like, hey, I can do I know everything you've ever seen me do is
Yeah.
goofy and idiotic, but like I can do what you are looking for, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm trained. Okay.
I'm just, listen,
You don't understand. I
That's-
did plays.
I did
I can be on
Broadway.
the screen.
I did Broadway. Do you,
BRUD way. Broadway.
Yes, Broadway.
Broadway.
So I do have a question for you because you have a podcast.
Yeah.
It's called Help From A Hypocrite. Do you think it's now required for comedians to have podcasts? Socially required?
I mean, the thing is, there is a joke about the fact that everybody fucking has one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
mean-
know, it's so oversaturated, and even when I look at like my own numbers, I go, "Why the fuck are you doing this?"
we say
and
the same
it's
shit. We say the same thing.
Yeah.
yeah, man. But if it's something that like not like makes you feel fueled and happy, whatever, like to me, I'm learning that like right now to a couple hundred people, because I'm not huge yet with the podcast. I'm
Mhm.
really not. I've been running it for like more than a year and it's not where I want it to be. And that's also because I'm still like doing things wrong and I'm still learning how to do stuff. Any break I've taken between seasons has not been planned. It's just been like, oh, like I keep booking people, they have to cancel or move, and now I'm 2 weeks without an episode.
Yeah.
And I just go, that was the end of season 1, I guess, guys. Like it's like
Yeah.
I fuck it up and I'm like learning. But also when you look at I'm using him as an example just because he's the cream of the crop when it comes to like success in the game. But like Joe Rogan, if you look at the first like couple of years of his podcast, it looked like dog shit.
Yeah.
Like the quality's bad, the everything's bad, but it was like still like entertaining, and you don't know how many people were fucking listening, and it looked bad. And I'm like, I as long as I stick with it, I'm hoping it means something for the fucking career. I think comics
Yeah.
just use it because when you do stand up, you have to be like most people, like I said, they're prepared, they're like doing their jokes and whatever. And then the podcast is your audience feels closer to you. They see how you're funny just like as a regular normal person. And I
Yeah.
think one of the most important things to have as someone who like wants a fan base or just people who support you is they think they're your friend. It's like because a lot of people like manipulate that, and then
Yeah.
if anybody were to try to talk to them, they go, "Get the fuck off of me."
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like legitimately, like people like slide in my DMs, and I respond to them as if I know them, and they talk to me. If I'm like streaming video games, it's like I'm talking to people like in reality. If you were to know me, I'm gonna be fucking nice to you, and I think that's what
Right.
like podcasting does is like just kind of you're like reaching your hand out in a way they get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah. I mean, I
You
think
know, I should have guessed the video games thing with your gaming chair. I love
Yeah,
it.
man. In reality, I just got this because it was comfier than a computer chair.
Yeah.
Is
But
it
now I
comfy?
genuinely started. Yeah, but I think I need to get like an even nicer one, man. This one, my butt be getting sweaty and hurts after a couple hours. But I have just started in the past week taking Twitch seriously because go live on TikTok, tell them to come over to Twitch, and now like that's kind of
Yeah.
starting up, which feels nice.
That's so awesome. And so you got like a bunch of stuff. You got a Patreon, you got Twitch, you got Discord. You're doing it all. You're in like every
Yeah,
single...
Discord just started up. I'm hoping that becomes a thing just this week. It has to look nicer. I need people. My buddy, the little kid who grew up next door to me, his name's Little Matthew because my little brother's name is Matthew. But we call him that, and he's an honorary brother. He has a very successful Discord about like shoe reselling and stuff like that. And he
Oh,
like
wow.
looked at mine. He was like, "Do not invite people over. I need to fix this. This looks like shit. They're gonna like take over your Discord. Like, let me fix it." Because I don't know anything about my biggest flaw, I think, as a creative person was, and also just like as a human in general, is the idea of I have not learned about many things such as Discord or whatever, because I just thought I didn't need to learn it. Like as an actor, I'm just gonna need to live my life, take in experiences and whatever. As a comedian, I live my life and then I write stuff and then I perform it. And like now I'm like, you couldn't take a fucking tech class at any point, you fucking puts. My guy. So yeah, I need help with like all that shit starting up, you know?
Yeah.
Even Patreon I've had up for a while. There's nothing on Patreon yet. Like I'm still figuring out what exactly Patreon's gonna be. There's people signed up to it, but like, and I'm gonna like put the videos of my podcasts up there because those don't exist anywhere else. But like, what else can I do to make that like a place that people would fucking pay money to be on? You know?
Yeah.
Right. It's weird. At this like stage of, I don't know, like technology, you kind of have to cast your net in every different pool that there is. Like TikTok, Patreon, all this stuff just to like.
It's gonna be shit for fucking taxes when I fucking. I got like 8 different W7s coming in.
But it's smart. It's smart.
It is
I think
smart.
it's kind of the way you have to go about it.
Yeah, man.
Not that I
if,
do
like,
any of it, but
yeah, you know, if I have like 150 or like 200 coming from like TikTok, I'm not even on the creator fund because I heard that it affects your views and they don't pump you out as much actually when you're on it.
Really?
That's like a rumor that I've heard. I don't know if it's true, but people have been like, listen, I joined and now like I'm not getting any views. And so like I haven't even joined that. Like I make no money off of TikTok. And I feel like people look at that and think that, you know, you have that many followers, that it means something. And like, it truly doesn't mean anything. It depends on like what you use it for.
Getting people from there to your other things. I mean, and you have so many other fantastic things. Like you have your stand-up, you have your podcast. And so with all of this stuff, what's the biggest right now? Is it TikTok for you? Like, what's the biggest source of that you enjoy? What is like the biggest thing for you?
It's honestly the biggest thing is TikTok, and I'm not like, the thing is I'm like both embarrassed to say that, but and also like happy. Like I have friends who, you know, they had some shit going on for them because they had followings on other platforms, and I just never got that. And now on like if you count TikTok numbers, I have more followers than like a lot of like most of my friends on all of those other platforms, but TikTok is still like different. Like when you talk with your friends, when I talk with my friends, like 100,000 TikTok followers is probably the equivalent to like 10-15,000 Twitter followers, because people on Twitter are like less likely to follow. They'll like your tweet and move on. But TikTok, the follow button's right there. If you like my video, you could even accidentally follow me. It's right fucking there.
I've done that.
Dude, I've accidentally followed 3 people who followed me, and now I can't fucking unfollow them because that would look so rude.
It happens all the time.
But like it happened. But at the same exact time, my followers are very engaged, so I know they're not just following me for like no fucking reason. Like I see the same names coming up. I see the same people.
It's good. Engagement's everything.
So
that's really
it really is. So I think what I think is great about my TikTok in particular is somehow, some fucking way, I ended up with a following that's like, God, the word devout sounds so like religious, but like, they're just like, they're there. I'm not just like some hot girl who danced in a bikini and got like 500,000. I'm not a guy who's shirtless. I'm hot boy shit,
exactly.
you know? And they come for like the funny stuff, but they come for people who are following for the diarrhea. I think they were following for the comedy, but also the fact that I was being honest about like a really kind of embarrassing thing for many people. That's a lot of the DMs I got, was people being like, hey, no one talks about this for real. Thank you for doing it. And I'm like, wow, like I just thought like, I don't know, man. I guess I have this like following that I think is much more active than the followings of people who I see videos with like 100,000 likes and then only like 30 comments. Like I don't know how the fuck that happens.
That doesn't
but that kind of thing happens.
Well, man, I just wish you the best of luck with everything coming up for you. I really love your stuff, like seriously. So keep,
and I love
keep
you
killing it.
as a person.
Dude, thank you so much.
Kiss me. I'm fucking
I love that you do that in your
That's
videos.
the best.
It always
Yeah, that's
makes
the-
me laugh. You're like, oh, what?
Well,
That's
thank
my
you,
favorite
dude.
thing to
yeah.
do on stage too.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Let us know when you have any shows or anything coming up. We'll definitely promote on our page. And
Yeah.
thank you again for coming on. It's been a blast having you and talking to you, man.
Man,
We
thanks
will
for having
watch
me.
your career with great interest.
Yes.
Thanks,
I hated
man.
that. Why'd you say it like that?
Hey, man, I love
was-
it.
I was trying to be an asshole, and I think I came across it.
And it fucking works, man. Wait a minute.